You found this video because you're in a really tough spot right now, and you might be going through the loss of a job or the loss of a loved one or maybe some financial trouble. And you may be feeling like you're down and out and that there's no coming back from this one. And in this video, I'm really going to help change your mindset around that and help you realize that as bad as things might be right now, this darkest chapter of your life that you're going through is actually going to be the catalyst for a really profound transformation that takes place in your life. And so some of the ideas that I discuss in this video are probably going to be considered unconventional compared to what you're used to. But these were all ideas and philosophies and teachings that I came across when I went through my darkest chapter of my life and really went through a profound spiritual awakening that took place and helped me really transform as a person and become someone that I was not previously. And so the idea of being down and out and this being an insurmountable challenge that you're going through is really just an illusion. And it's just your mind kind of playing tricks on you. And so as bad as things might be and as bad as the event might be that you're experiencing or went through, it's really just disguised as that. And it's actually an opportunity for you to make a quantum leap in your life and to go through tremendous personal growth and transformation. Because when I lost my job and I felt like my world was crumbling and I went through a really dark chapter in my life, what I didn't realize at the time is that this was a long overdue personal growth experience that I was about to go through. And looking back, it really altered the direction of my life. And I'm so thankful that it happened looking back on it. But I think when we are presented with suffering, the first thing that we like to do is try to escape and get away from it and hide from it and pretend like it doesn't exist. That's certainly what I did. But when you are able to embrace suffering and you're able to lean into it and be with it, it really expedites the process of this transformation to take place. Because like they say, what you resist is going to persist. So running away from it, you're really just delaying this personal transformation that wants to take place in your life and that is disguised as this really bad thing that happened to you. And so I remember when I was in a really bad place, I started turning to distractions and escapes and unhealthy coping mechanisms to get away from my suffering, which is what a lot of people do. And the society that we live in, there is certainly no shortage of distractions or escapes or unhealthy coping mechanisms. Whether that's TV, which has 5,000 channels on it now, or one of the many streaming services like Netflix that exists where you can just sit there and binge TV for days on end. Or smartphones where people spend about 6 or 7 hours per day on them now, according to the latest studies that have been done. Or things like alcohol, which is promoted on billboards and TV commercials and celebrity endorsements, despite being something that kills hundreds of thousands of people on a yearly basis and destroys lives and families and drunk driving and all of it. All of these things are just clouding your judgment and just lowering your vibration and lowering your level of consciousness and really enabling you to operate in this very low realm, which is not a good spot to be when you are going through one of life's challenges. And so when I started eliminating a lot of these distractions from my life and I was able to think more clearly, that's when things really started to change. I could feel my vibration raising up. I could feel my level of consciousness raising up. And I kind of just started playing a different ball game than most people, which was a great first step after this challenging experience happened to me. So eliminating distractions is a great place to start. And the deeper and deeper that I went into my own feelings, I became acutely aware of the innate intelligence that exists within us, that I had not thought about before, like the mind-body connection and all of that. Very, very real thing, which science is now proving. And I learned about the heart and how the heart is much more than an organ that just pumps blood throughout your body, like we've been kind of told. That's all it is. So the heart is a very deep seat of intelligence. It is the first organ that exists when a fetus is being developed. The heart just kind of pops out of nowhere, this electrical pulse, and science doesn't know how to explain it. And it's also worth mentioning that much like your brain, your heart has its own set of neurons. It has about 40,000 neurons. And it is always sending information to your brain, far more than your brain is sending information to your heart. And so when people say that you have to listen to your heart on this, that's a very real thing. And by tuning into your heart more, you're able to really get away from your analytical mind and be able to feel your way through the challenge that you're experiencing. So this really helps with influencing your emotions, influencing your ability to creatively approach the situation. But when you are just lost in a sea of distractions, it makes it very difficult to tune into this innate intelligence that exists in your body. Once you begin to realize that your body is a lot smarter than you've been led to believe, what opens up next is this connection to the universe. Now, bear with me for a second, because the universe is not out to get you, and that is not what happened in this situation. The universe is very benevolent by design, and it's always trying to guide you back to your true soul's purpose. And when you're misaligned with that, when something happens that has no explanation at the time, the universe is working to make a profound positive transformation in your life, as hard as that may seem right now to understand. This happened with me when like I said, when I lost my job. I was in a job where the money was great, the commute was very short, like all the things were there, except for me. And it was almost like I would go into this job and it was an out-of-body experience. And I had just completely lost touch with who I was as a person and what was important to me, because I was just focused on all the wrong things. And then came the day when I lost my job. And like I said, I thought my world was crumbling, but little did I know that happened for a reason. And it got me back aligned with what's important to me and what I want to do in the world, and all of these things that I had really taken my eye off of. And so once you begin to have a willingness and an openness to understanding that the universe is trying to help you, and you are an instrument of the universe, and what the universe wants to do through you is for you to create in this place, create children, create through what you do professionally. The universe is all about creation. And when you're going down the wrong path, like I did, it's just trying to get you back on course. Because people are, we like to think we know what's best, or we know how to deal with this, or, and then we go to school for things someone think we should go to school for. All these things really just get us off course of what we're truly meant to do in our life, to make the biggest positive impact that we possibly can. And so when you begin to understand that there's a lot more going on than you've been led to believe through quantum physics and vibration, which is all being proven now by science, and science is actually beginning to come around on spirituality, it just really begins to change your conversation with life. and doors begin to open for you that you didn't even know were there. You begin meeting people that you can't believe you met. This is when those things happen where you're like, wow, what are the chances of that? Perhaps there are no coincidences. Perhaps all of this is by design. That's kind of what I've been led to believe. And once I started believing in that, I started to see more synchronicities and more signs and more coincidences show up in my own life that really gave me the confidence that I was now heading on the right path that I was supposed to be on. And so you may be beating yourself up over whatever you're going through right now. You may be just not in a good spot mentally. And another thing that I would like you to realize is that you no longer have to live within the imprisonment of your own mind. And you no longer have to listen to the story that you've been telling yourself for days, for weeks, maybe for months or even years. Anytime that you want to drop that and just do something different, you're free to do that, because this story and what you have going on upstairs is all just because of your own making and your own creation. And so if you created a story that you don't really enjoy reading on a daily basis, you have the ability to rewrite that story anytime you want. And so I encourage you to begin exploring the idea that there's a lot more to life than you've been led to believe, and that it's time to start eliminating some distractions from your life so that you can begin to access the innate intelligence and guiding light that exists within you, and to stop closing yourself off from the intelligence that exists in all things within this universe, because it's there and it wants what's best for you. And despite how hard things might be right now for whatever you're going through, you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And you're going through something that you are supposed to go through. And in the future, you will be able to look back on this and realize that it was a gift that was given to you for you to be able to really level up and become someone that you were not previously, and really go through a profound transformation in your life. And so that's the reason that you found this video, is for you to realize that you are right where you're supposed to be, and that there's going to be a lot of good that comes out of this once the dust settles, and once you have clearly processed this and began moving in the correct direction. And so I know I kind of presented a lot of different ideas in this video, but if any of these ideas were interesting to you, I'm going to be discussing these in a lot more detail on my channel in the future. And so I would encourage you to maybe subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I just want you to know that I'll be thinking of you, and that you're not alone. And I've been through this, and I know many other people that have been through this, and you will get through this, and you will be a stronger person because of it. So with that, I hope that you be well, and I will see you in the next one.